What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the walkthrough. We are going to start things off today by heading to the jail cave on the southwestern side of Caelid. We unlocked this at the end of the last episode, and we're going to be heading back there to get things started. So this dungeon is slightly confusing. It's not as confusing as some of like the trap chest oriented dungeons that we've been to, or the ones that kind of like loop around on themselves and have identical looking rooms. But nonetheless, for this dungeon, I'm going to be equipping my rainbow stones, and actually I'm going to be crafting a little bit more of them, just because it is going to help us slightly with navigation in here. Because this is one of those dungeons where it can be tricky to figure out, okay, where did I come from and where did I go? So there's the site of grace. That's where we started. So we're going to head down this path. And this path is a straight shot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a rainbow stone here to mark like, hey, we came from here. And then you'll see we have some of these locked cells. So that's going to come into play later. We're going to open these up. Anytime I go into a cell, I'm going to throw a stone down because that's going to indicate, hey, we've been in here. So that way it'll keep us from circling back to the same cells over and over again. So that is scripted. It has to happen. I'm going to throw a stone in here just to show, hey, we've come from here. You'll notice a lot of these cells have fire-based enemies in them. You can actually do it. If you have a long enough weapon, you can do a jump attack and actually hit some of them through the cell. Eventually, we're going to hit a switch that's going to open up all these cells, which, of course, will allow these enemies to come out. And then they're all going to be a threat at that point in time. So it might be useful to you to take out some of these preemptively before you have to fight them straight up. I mean, it's not like they're that hard, but it'll help. So this is locked from the other side. We're going to come around the other side of that door in just a bit. For now, we have to drop down from here. And there's going to be the vulgar militiamen down here. Very hard to see. And yes, there are a ton of these closed off cell doors, but as I said before, we are going to open up all these cells. And every time we go inside a cell to collect the loot, I'm going to be dropping a stone just so we know that if we make another loop back around, that we have collected all the stuff. So we won't be second guessing which ones we've been in and which ones we haven't been in. More fire guys. Should be able to kill at least one of them. There we go. So now this is going to take us to another area where there will be a switch where we can unlock all of these cells. There's going to be a big mama rat in here too. Oh, come on. Okay. Grab the loot. Watch out for the little poison traps on the floor there. And more vulgar militiamen in here. They like to throw that smoke to like obscure where they're at. Alright, got a gold rune. And sometimes these guys can drop their armor and weapons and stuff. It's random, though. All right, so in here, we have a Somber 5. And this is that door that was locked from the other side just a minute ago. We're going to go back through there in just a second. Let's see, nothing around here. Here's our switch. This unlocks all of the jail cells. So you see all these fiery guys can now exit. So that's where we came from. So that's why I threw the stone down. So we know that we don't need to go in there again. I'll throw a stone down in here. There's nothing in here. And this is just going to help us know. Let's see. Gold rune 2. Throw a stone down in here just so we know we've been in here already. And then these remaining fiery guys we'll take out. So this path just takes us back up to the main level where the Site of Grace is. There's no loot on this path, so I'm not going to take it. Old Fang and the Pillory Shield. Pretty much, unless there's something I'm missing, is basically a worthless shield. All right, so that's the door that we opened. We unlocked to get back through here. So now we're just making our way back through this area to all of the cells that have since been opened. All right, we're going to mark this one. We've been in it. Some good loot in this one. I believe there's a stone sword key in here. And that, the Wakizashi, that is a dagger, I believe. And then there's our stone sword key. So mark that one. Let's see here. Nothing in here, but we're going to mark it nonetheless. Okay, so just to put everything together, this is the path that we went to get up top to unlock all the cells. So we've already been up there. And then this was previously closed off. There were a couple of Vulgar militiamen in front of this gate, but now it's open so we can get through. And this is our progression route. Get the loot. Get some rainbow stones back. At least one of them back. And these are breakable. But this one happens to be breakable and allows you to proceed. So if you look closely, there are some ledges we can drop down to in here. And once you hit the bottom, we're going to get to the boss. But this boss, whoops, seriously is a joke. I'm going to open up with the Bloodhounds, and then maybe one more R1 should kill him. There we go. As I said, we're going to be just a little bit OP for some of these lower Caelid dungeons. Which is absolutely fine in my opinion. So this warps us back around to actually Limgrave. And this is the regalia of... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. And glowstone. And so that is a beach. We could drop down there. That's right by the Third Church of America. You can't get up here otherwise. Only way to get up here is by going through that dungeon. So let's check out that weapon we just got. I believe, is it a straight sword? There it is. Has an interesting skill, but nonetheless, not something that I'm going to be using. So at this point, I'm just going to warp. I'm going to warp back up to here, to the Caelid ruins, and then we're going to work our way around. Pretty much, I'll show you. We're going to make a big loop. And while I'm here, I'm going to warp the time of day and probably level up as well. Go straight to morning time. And need like 3,000 more to level up. That's easy. Let's see, I'll use all 6 of these maybe. Let's take Vigor up. So what we're going to do is you're going to follow this path and make it basically a loop around this whole thing. So we got a lot of ground to cover, but we will do it all, and we're going to pick up our Mac fragment down here, and there's going to be a few surprises along the way. So on our way down, we're actually going to hit up, so there's some loot over around this area, and then our next site of grace is going to be over here. So those are going to be our kind of next spots to hit up. We've already explored these ruins, so no reason for us to do it all over again. Just going to jet straight through here and follow the main path. And so the spots that are marked off they happen to be guarded by crows. There's some loot. I'm not even going to worry about these crows. I'm literally just going to get the stuff and bolt. And there should be some arteria leaves down here. Here we go. Pick these up. Then we're going to climb up on this little mountain of whatever these things are. There should be another piece of loot up here. Here we go. Somber... No, just regular smithing stone 5. And ignore the crows, because... Not even worth fighting them, in my opinion. We're just going to head straight to that next site of grace, which is marker number 4 for me. And happens to be right next to a telescope as well. So you can use this telescope to check out the surrounding landscape if you wish. I'm going to go on and take this beacon out and then activate the site of grace. Ooh, hopefully before the crow hits me. We'll see. He's backing away. That works out well for me. Okay, there we go. Not too bad. So next, let's see. There's like a little encampment over here that we're going to hit up in this kind of area. There's an Ash of War and another... actually, I need to take off the previous beacons here. All right, so encampment over here, Ash of War, and another site of grace like around here. And then we're going to hit up this. We could have... It's actually right next to the jail cave. We could have done that before, but I chose to do the jail cave first, and then we'll hit up this kind of ruins on our big loop here. So, and this is a very small enemy encampment over here. A couple knights, and there is a treasure chest. I'm gonna go on and loop around and take off my beacon here, and we'll take out the big cheese. Oh, I got stunned. There we go. And we got this treasure chest right here. So now we're going to continue on our way south. Kind of still along this main path here. And there is going to be a site of grace to our left. You can take these guys out. The dogs down here, I don't know if you've encountered them in the last episode, but the dogs down here do cause scarlet rot, unfortunately. So here's our scarab. Get the Lifesteal Fist, Ash of War. We got our Site of Grace, which I'll rest at. And there is an interesting lore point here. It is something that I mentioned in the last episode, but now you can see it here with your own eyes. Battle of Aeonia. Radon and Melania locked in stalemate, then Scarlet Rot bloomed. So they were fighting each other, Radon and Melania. There was a big war that took place here. And we can't see it yet because we don't have the map unlocked, but there's a giant Scarlet Rot swamp here. And that's basically in this episode, we're doing the perimeter of this Scarlet Rot swamp. And I'm assuming probably in the next episode, we'll get everything within the swamp.
Welcome, dear customer. Yes, right. Welcome, valued, please. I'm hungry.
And this guy doesn't have, super amazing stuff, but I'll go ahead and pick up the. Well, I gotta get me some runes first here. That should be enough.
How nice.
All right, pick up the remainder of these. I mean, I'm good on arrows, but I'll get some more. See, he doesn't have any rune arcs or stone sword keys, unfortunately, but can't win them all. Okay, so now we're going to head to our third marker on the map, which there's nothing earth-shattering. It's just kind of some ruins. It's right when we pull in here. Where is it? Yeah, there's 2 pieces of loot right here. Got these dragonfly heads. And again, these dogs can, when they bite you, they inflict rot. So just beware. You see that rot meter's building up. I mean, not too big of a deal, especially since we have the flame cleanse me that we can use if we need to. These guys are a pain. They shoot like these spider web things at you, and the spider webs actually do a decent bit of damage. There's a bunch of them in here. And I really don't need to be fighting these things, but they have really erratic movement patterns. There's the spider. Oh, no, I thought he was going to do a spider web attack. Yeah, these guys are really hard to pin down. There we go. Oh my gosh, they keep interrupting my jump attack. All right. There is an underground little cellar that I want to make sure to hit up. And there's also a piece of loot over here. Yep, there are more dogs. Here's the underground spot. And there are a bunch of little annoying things in here. I'm really have no desire to. They're basically miniature versions of the things we were fighting up top. All right, we get the meteoric ore blade. I believe that's a katana. Get out of this nonsense. All right. Need to find a spot where I can open up my map. Need to mark some stuff. Take out this dog. Hopefully it'll let me do it here. There we go. So there's going to be like a starlight shard thing that we're going to pick up here. And then there's going to be a site of grace like right along here. First, we got to get on top of this rock here. Head due north for the starlight shard. Or I guess this is due south, actually. Right, there's our shard. Take this off the map. Then our site of grace should be over here somewhere. No, I don't want to wake up the dragon yet. Spoiler alert. That's what we're doing next. I wanted to rest here to get all my stuff back and have a point to work back to should the unthinkable happen. Let's see here. So we're gonna fight him now. Gonna use my summon. I'm gonna do this on foot. And of course, as you can imagine, this dragon uses Scarlet Rot, so just be ready for it. But we are mighty powerful. Definitely strong enough for this fight. Did I get a stun? Perfect. But I'm like in the middle of a Scarlet Rot cloud. And look at the damage that Scarlet Rot's doing. So I'm not gonna be able to take advantage of that stun, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to heal my Scarlet Rot. So instead of flames, he basically has Scarlet Rot breath. Which still does do quite a bit of damage, but then it also inflicts the rot, so. Perfect. Oh, I missed my easy headshot there. That's too bad. Okay, I'm going to go back to the legs. You see more Scarlet Rot build up. Pretty much. Is he doing his slam attack? Yep. I'm gonna have to do a FP potion real quick. Oh, more Scarlet Rot. There we go. Got a couple headshots. And almost got him. See, every time he stomps there, there's like a Scarlet Rot AoE right next to his foot. But nonetheless, we're successful, and we got ourselves a Dragon Heart, and a new Draconic power is available at the church, or at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. Which, speak of the devil, that's where we're headed. I don't have the map fragment yet, so it's probably easiest just to head there. Visually, it's just south of where we're at, where we fought this dragon, so very convenient location for the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. And I believe there is a knight outside of this place. Yeah, but not too bad. All right, and don't miss this. This is a cookbook that allows you to craft Scarlet Rot type items, and there's a site of grace here, so we'll use this to rest up and heal up. So this is very similar to the other location that we found in Limgrave, the Church of Dragon Communion. Only difference is that this has way more options available. I think the Church of Dragon Communion only has 3 dragon spells available, whereas this one, as you can see, has more available, and there's more to come. So you can peruse the list of spells we have here, and the more dragons that you kill throughout the game, the more spells that are going to be available here. And of course, the currency for these things are the dragon hearts themselves. So I'll go on and pick up Rotten Breath. This is actually a pretty solid spell. It requires 15 Faith and 12 Arcane to use, which I can use as long as I have a Rune Arc active on my Godric's Great Rune. So I might use this situationally. In fact, I'll probably go ahead and equip it, and I may or may not ever use it, but it's actually very good at taking out large group of enemies, especially if they are susceptible to Scarlet Rot. So let's see. I'm going to memorize a spell, and I'll put this on. Why not? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to head due west to this spot. There's another kind of grave site with a bunch of gold runes, and there's actually another enemy over here. You know, sometimes there are those enemies that transform into much stronger enemies, and once you kill the stronger enemy that it transforms into, it gives you a larval tier. So there's one of these over here, and I just guessed with the beacon, but it is the location is right here, where these grave sites are. So the guy that transforms is the one that's in the middle at the very end. I'm going to go on and take these other ones out so they don't interfere. And this guy just transforms into a giant golem. This is actually, or it might even be it's a troll. I forget which one it is, but in any case, it's probably the easiest transformation enemy to take out for the larval tier. Each region kind of has an enemy that transforms for a larval tier. So he's going to transform. Yeah, it's just a giant troll. So right when you transform, I just unload with charge attacks. And I'm not even going to do this special. I'm just going to keep at it. And that is all. Super easy for that one. And our reward is our larval tier. So that's all we want to do here. I'm actually going to, well, we don't need to warp. So where we're going to go now, pretty much straight to the map fragment. just remember the Church of Dragon Communion over here, Cathedral of Dragon Communion over here. We are going to go back there later once we kill a different dragon, and there's going to be a legendary spell that we can get from there that will give us something that we need for our trophy. Okay, pick up our map fragment. And there is a merchant around here. So now we have the entire map of Caelid unlocked. So good for us. We're going to hit up this merchant real quick.
I am no selling.
And he gives us a cracked pot, a stone sword key, and a cookbook. And we'll take the gravity's advantage note. I'll read this to y'all so you don't have to buy this yourself. Gravity's advantage is what it was called. Here we go. Gravitational power that pulls can bring flying enemies low. So we do have gravitational. We don't have any spells equipped. We do have gravitational items, and you could use them on anything that flies pretty much. So where we're gonna head next is there is a site of grace kind of around here, and then we're gonna head down here for an item. And then we're going to head here for a physick flask, crystal tier. And there's going to be a gold seed over here. And then another item kind of over here. So we're going to make kind of a big loop. Got a site of grace. Here we go. So next, this way. There's going to be one of those giant lion enemies. But if we do this right, we should get a kind of sneak attack on him, which will make it a lot easier. I'm going to dismount. And yeah, he's like down right there, right by that tree branch. So we drop down here. And he's right there. I think we can do a drop attack on him. Yeah, there we go. So drop attack. And he roared, so it kind of knocked me away, but we'll finish him off real quick. There we go. Thumper 4 and a bunch of beast blood. And there's a couple pickups here. Pretty much more beast blood. So this next area is going to be guarded by ravens. We're just going to swing right in, pick up what we want, and then move out pretty much immediately. And I'm not going to fight the birds. So it's down in here. So the windy crystal tier, we'll check that out in just a minute. I'm not going to worry about these ravens, though. And we're gonna, before we hit that, we're gonna go up and get the golden seed. Then we're gonna loop back down. Now that I got these birds on me, I'm not gonna be able to pull up my map and show you where we're going next, but that is just fine. Kind of where that berserk dog is. That's where we're headed. So down here and go this way. And there's going to be a catacombs over here. And on the way, there's going to be a scarab with a somber 4, I believe. There we go. Stay on the move. And the dogs should not be a problem. Or the birds, for that matter. You get iframes when you open doors in this game. All right, going to reset the area. And this is actually a relatively straightforward catacombs. It is a Scarlet Rot catacomb, so make sure that you've got enough to use your Flame Cleanse Me if you need to. This is also a skeleton / cemetery shade catacomb, so I'm going to use my Uji katana. Because I have It's not the Uji katana. It's the Ash of War that I have equipped on my Uji katana. So I have Sacred Blade equipped to it, which basically fires a sacred projectile when I use this Ash of War, and then it imbues my sword rather with holy damage, which takes out these enemies pretty quickly. So this is just a swamp. You can pick up these flowers and whatnot as you go. I suggest you not linger, lest you get inflicted with Scarlet Rot. I believe there's an enemy. Yeah, this one's an archer. Take him out. There we go. To go down these stairs, it's another rot swamp, but hook a U-turn right here, fake wall right here, and there are the Miranda Sprout ashes, and they're blocking my path, so I'm probably going to get rotted, but that's fine. We'll deal with it. And there's a giant Miranda flower here as well. I'm going to move along my way here, and I'm going to cleanse the rot. Because you see that damage that the rot does is, for one, the buildup takes forever to go down, and then the rot damage is relatively severe. So we're in another rot swamp. This is an illusory wall. This is the lever. Just gonna make sure that I've got all my pickups here. Probably gonna get rotted again, but that's fine. Yep, that's fine. We're gonna cure it again. This is why we have Flame Cleanse Me, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the boss. As I said, it's a pretty straightforward catacombs. After we kill the boss, that's it. And it's a cemetery shade. So I'm going to be using my Ash of War on this thing because it's going to make the fight markedly easier. Just got to wait till he's like kind of standing still. And oh, the thing about these things is they dodge so quickly. And if I could get my projectile off on him, it would do like half his health. But he keeps moving around. So I'm just going to do physical attacks. And you're going to see how powerful these, because my sword is imbued. And so pretty crazy damage on him. If the projectile had hit him, the projectile alone would have done like half his health. But nonetheless, since my sword was imbued, it was still easy to do. So we got the Kindred of Rot Ashes. And we're going to teleport out of here, rest up, and level up. So we're actually going to warp to this side of Grace, and this is where I'll do my leveling and whatnot. And I don't think that's enough for a level. Yeah, we're just shy. I need 71. We're at 64. Actually, I'm going to take my rainbow stones off. So that's what, 7,000 more. That's too much, but whatever. It gets me my level. All right, so we'll put this one into Dex. And I need to remember to equip my Bloodhound's Fang. There we go. Okay, so we're going to head to the town of Sellia, which is just north of us. Beware, there's a giant troll up here who's going to try to pelt you with these magic bombs. Just stay on the move. A bunch of marionette soldiers down here as well. So go through this gate, and we're about to kick off another side quest. We'll go ahead and read this note. Why not? It says, stop by the shack. Duh, we're going to stop by the shack. The NPC's in there. Take out this dog first. And these dogs are a joke. So this NPC is going to kick off pretty much the quest line with I think the last remaining NPC in this game that we haven't met yet. And that's Millicent.
Oh, a pleasure to see you. A pleasure indeed. I am Gary, a great sage. In my day, anyway. I'd hoped to ask a favor when one of your ilk came along. A strapping young tarnished, able to cross the Scarlet swamp of Aeonia. Don't fret, I'll provide fine recompense. Should you accept, I will teach you the secret of Sellia, the town you see there.
Okay, we will accept.
Ah, then you are willing to lend a hand, are you? I need your help to heal a certain young girl. Her name is Millicent. You will find her beyond Sellia, resting at the church atop the cliff, stricken by the rotting sickness. The rotting sickness that afflicts Millicent has no cure. When the Erd tree flourished, even the demigods could not stave off its effects, despite their nigh godhood. But Millicent's suffering can be ameliorated. For this, you are to find a certain needle. Seek the deep Scarlet swamp of Aeonia outside Sellia's bounds. The needle, made from unalloyed gold, is lost somewhere there. First, you must find the unalloyed gold needle. It's hidden somewhere in the deep Scarlet swamp of Aeonia. Then I will tell you, as promised, the secret of the town of Sellia.
Okay, so we got to find the gold needle, and this kicks off Millicent's side quest. For those of you who remember when we were up here in the capital, and we went to this place, the Frenzied Flame Proscription. If you have already taken the Frenzied Flame upon yourself, and you're on that path, and you have regrets, Millicent's side quest is required to undo the Flame of Frenzy. So the Flame of Frenzy is required for one of the endings of the game. But if you choose that path, that is the only ending that you'll be eligible for when you do get to the end of the game. So if you want to undo that, the only way to undo that is to fulfill Millicent's entire side quest. So we will be doing Millicent's side quests in this playthrough, of course, as with all the other side quests that we've been doing so far. But this is the start of that side quest, so just pointing it out, this is a fairly important NPC. That's a Cerulean Scarab. All that does is gives us a blue flask back. I'm not really that interested in that. We got some marionette soldiers down here. So we're actually walking around the perimeter of Sellia. But the reason we're going outside, we could have went in where we just were outside of where we talked to Gallery, but I'm going this way because there's a site of grace out here. And there's another marionette soldier here. And so we're right outside the swamp of Aeonia that he mentioned. The gold needle is in here that we need to help Millicent with. So this entire area right here is one giant scarlet rot swamp. So we're going to be dealing with that not in this episode, but most likely in the next episode. And there's a few things we got to take care of in there. So here's our site of grace. I'm going to rest up here and advance the time because I think we're getting to evening, and I'm going to advance it to morning time. Directly ahead of us, there's going to be spirit ashes. The rotten stray. Actually, these can inflict scarlet rot. Pretty solid ashes for both distraction and for damage and inflicting status effects. So the way into the village that we're going to take is straight up these main stairs here. And there are a bunch of these like phantom sorcerers in here. You'll notice that there are some of these doors that are kind of locked behind a sort of like a portal. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go up top because the way to unlock those doors is up these stairs. And there's 3 little torches that we have to light. And you'll notice that there are these seals all over the place that we can't get through. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna unlock all of those seals. So we got a golden seed. I think this is our 5th one. So this should be able to give us another flask upgrade, which I think will be our last remaining flask upgrade. So we're gonna do the rooftop section first. So to get up to the rooftops, jump on this tree branch. And there is some loot up here, of course, that we're going to be getting as well. So let's see. That's on the ground. We'll be getting that when we circle around on the ground. Get this one right here. Cerulean Tier Scarab. That is headgear. I'm just trying to get on top of this roof. There we go. Jump over here. Take care of this marionette soldier before he can beam us. So this is one of the scarabs that will teleport if you get too close to it. So I'm going to take it out with an arrow. Keep it from going anywhere. It gives us the double slash Art of War. Jump on top of these roofs here. There's a piece of loot down here. Get the Staff of Loss. Try to get back on the rooftop. There we go. Oops, stay up there. Oh well. We're just going to circle back up the stairs. That's fine. Okay. So the first torch that we're going to take care of is up this ladder. And there's 3 of them that we're going to have to get to. And each of these unlocks some of the seals that I showed you earlier that you can't get past until you do these. Yeah, seal is broken in town somewhere. So we're going to get all 3 of these so we can get all of the stuff behind the seals. Got a stone sword key. Take out this guy. Ah, come on. There we go. Gonna do a quick scan. Let's see. We can miss that item on the roof, but we're gonna get that in just a second. First, we're going to do the second torch here. Okay. Get this item on the roof. And then the last one is over here. I may not be able to make this jump from here, but if not, we'll just loop back around up top. Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to loop back around. That's fine. Nope. So we're just gonna drop down on this little branch here. Then we can hop up here. So after we do this one, all of the seals are gonna be unlocked, which then means we're gonna go down to the first level of the village, and we'll be able to get all the loot now. Okay, so I'm basically just going to make loops around. You see it's kind of like divided. Well, I can't open up my map because there's enemies down here, but... So this was previously behind a seal. Get the Spelldrake Talisman. I believe this was behind a seal. Night Comet. Sorcery. And circle around this way. So just for context, back there through that giant archways where we talked to Gowry. So you could also enter the city or the town from this direction as well. And this is a painting. I believe this is our last painting. There are 6 paintings in the game. And I believe this is number 6 of 6. The Redmane painting. I'm going to check real quick. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our last one. There are a bunch of these ghosts in here. And we're going to loop around back here. Make sure we got all the stuff. Pick this up. Got the poison grease. Dude, just straight up spamming. Some more stuff back here. And this is going to be our final imbued sword key. So we can now unlock all of the portals at the 4 belfries. So probably next episode, since we have the 2 remaining imbued sword keys, in the next episode we'll probably hit up the 4 belfries and do the remaining 2 teleportations. All right. So that's it for down here. So now there's another, when we were unlocking all of those seals by lighting those torches, the final seal that opens up is this gate, which leads us to another joke of a boss. Watch this. Well, if he stops backing away, that'd be great. There we go. That's all. That's all it takes. Got the Nox flowing sword, which it's a sword, but it kind of transforms into a whip, I think, if you use the weapon art on it. And then in here we get Lusat's Glintstone Staff, which I believe increases the potency of your sorceries, but also increases the FP consumed. So, not quite sure if that trade-off would even be worth it, but you do get more oomph. So we unlocked this Site of Grace. Let's see. We got time left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to warp to the 4 belfries, and we're going to do that in this episode. Not next episode. So we already did this one. This one warped us back to the Chapel of Anticipation, which is where we started the game. But now we have the other 2 keys, and we're going to do the other two belfries. So that's where we got our first imbued sword key. We got the second one in Raylucaria Academy on the rooftop section. We got our third one just now in Sellia. So that's the one that's the portal that we've already unlocked. So this one is going to take us to the underground city. And when we were in the Soifra river well the first time, I pulled out my telescope and I showed you this spot where we're actually going to go. But the only way to get here is via teleportation. So, and there is going to be a Crucible Knight that we fight here, so I'm going to put my buckler on just for enhanced parry action. There's our Crucible Knight down there, and there's also a talisman down here that we're going to pick up. So, drop down these ledges. That's not the way. We'll pick up the talisman first. And so over there, got the mottled necklace. We've done all that. That's the Siofra River Well. We've done all that already. And up there, we have not done everything up there yet, but we will soon enough. So we got the mottled, whatever it's called. Here we go. Raises robustness, immunity, and focus. So I believe that would be resistance to rot, resistance to sleep, I think, and resistance to bleed. And over here is our Crucible Knight. No reward for fighting this guy other than just the satisfaction of killing him. But you guys know how I fight these things. Parry, 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 parry. And this guy, his HP is pretty high. He might even be stronger than most of the other ones that we fought so far. Oh, he transformed. He actually got it off. All right, he blows fire. That's kind of like his special. Finish him off. There we go. And as I said, you get nothing for killing. So let's see. That's all that there is to do here. So we'll go and warp back to the 4 belfries and we'll take on the final portal. So there are 3 imbued sword keys in the game. We just got all 3 of them. So that's why I'm doing the 4 belfries now. I just wanted to do all of them at once. Put my normal shield back on because there's not a Crucible Knight in this next one. So I just have this one on passively for the enhanced stamina regeneration, for those of you wondering why I carry this shield around with me wherever I go. And this one also, I put carrying retaliation on it, which I do use in certain situations. So this one is going to take us to the Crumbling lands. This is going to give you a sneak peek of something yet to come. And there are a couple enemies here that might be a bit too much for us to take on right now. I don't know. We'll see, because this is a very late game area that we're going to right now. So we have reached Crumbling, Farum, Azula. You can see this massive tornado in the middle, and like, look at that. That's going to be a big ol' area that we explore later on in the game. And we'll have ourselves a good time here. But for now, we're off on this little side area that we don't even have the map open yet for, so. Have to drop down, and there's another talisman here that we get if we do this quick little thing. And these guys might kill me. I'm not sure. I might try to cheese them just a little bit. I'd rather take on 1 as opposed to 2. So I'll fight 1 straight up. I feel kind of bad for doing that. Oops, I shouldn't have jumped there. Okay, no, I didn't take any damage. Okay, these guys can be tricky. All right, not too bad. There we go. Not too bad at all. Yeah, this is a pretty sick area. I actually really like this place. It's just very mysterious. Let's drop down here. And we get the Pearl Drake Talisman, which I think we already have the Pearl Drake Talisman +1. So this isn't going to do a whole heck of a lot for us, despite the fact that I never really even equipped this talisman. But yep, we just got the base version. We already have the +1 version. I don't remember exactly where we got the +1 version, to be quite honest, but anyway. So we're going to work back to where we were. We'll go right here. This is where we fought the boss, and this is where we're going to end the episode. So, I was going to save the 4 belfries for next episode, but we had time, so I went ahead and knocked them out. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all have enjoyed the series thus far. I hope it's really helped you out in your own playthrough. Drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this with a friend who's playing Elden Ring if you know of anyone who might need some help with this game. And I'd love to interact with y'all, so leave comments and all that good stuff too. Anyways, I'll catch you all the next one. Stay tuned, and we'll see you then.